Researching a new destination is just not the same as being there and experiencing it for yourself. However, visiting a new destination for the first time can be intimidating, especially if you don't know the language. The seemingly mundane activities, like a leisurely walking tour, can be the doorway to a deeper, more enriching travel adventure. Here are 3 reasons for taking a walking tour when visiting a destination for the first time. Many travelers want to break away from the stereotype of the cliche tourist. If you spend the money and time to visit a new place, it's understandable to want to dive into the local culture. However, sometimes the simplest experiences can be the most helpful. While walking tours may not seem as thrilling as some off-the-beaten-path activities, they serve as a valuable foundation for your travel experience. It's easy to Google things, but it's much more impactful for someone to show you, tell you about it, and give you tips that maybe only the locals know. During our time in Linz, the tour guide led us through the main square and along different side streets. Since we weren't worried about getting lost, we could relax and enjoy the sights as we walked through the city. Our guide would point out landmarks that would help us remember how to find our way back to our starting point. We realized that the large Baroque church, known as the Old Cathedral, in the town square could easily be seen from different parts of Linz, and that became our beacon. As we explored the city, we always knew to look for that tower and we would find our way back. So whether you are taking a tour of a city and staying in a nearby hotel or resort, taking a river cruise where you're at port much longer and maybe even staying overnight, or an extended stay at a port on an ocean cruise where you have more than the 3 or 4 hours in port, but maybe even staying overnight, taking a walking cruise in the morning for a couple of hours and then going back and exploring on your own in free time is a great way to get a lay of the land and then focusing your time on the things that interest you the most. The second reason is that these local tour guides will show you things that maybe only the locals know about, or something unique that isn't as well known. Then once the walking tour is over, you can go to the places that spoke to you the most, that were the most interesting. Our guide mentioned that this street led to a church, but then led our group off in another direction for our tour. Later, we returned to the street so we could explore this church. Not only did we find the church, we discovered another museum with a great view. As we looked over the city, we now recognized several sites. During the tour, our guide pointed us to her favorite cafe, a place where she enjoys gathering with her family. So once the tour was done, a small group of us made our way to the cafe and enjoyed some local coffee and a slice of the famous Linzer torte. Known to be the oldest kind of cake in the world, obviously named after the city of Linz, the Linzer torte is a short cake with a crumbly, buttery pastry shell, carefully arranged in a crisscross design, giving it a unique visual appearance. Later that evening, we went out into Linz again as the sun set. We explored more and now had a better sense of how to get around. We really enjoyed seeing the city with its twinkling lights. On the Danube River is a contemporary art museum. Our guide started our tour at this contemporary art museum and let us know that at night it would be lit up with colorful lights. On the other side of the Danube is a museum known as the Museum of the Future with technology-based exhibitions. This museum had rotating nighttime lights and gave us the chance to really enjoy it in the evening as we watched the dancing lights across the river. If not for our guide, we may have missed this fun and entertaining evening experience. And finally, the third reason we recommend taking a walking tour is you get little bites of history along the way. Our tour guide gave us a sense of what Linz is today in the museums and the art scene, but also the Linz of the past. From Mozart visiting and creating the Linz Symphony, to Adolf Hitler as he rose to power in Germany and actually giving one of his more famous speeches in Linz. And our tour guide gave us different bits of history that we could go back and explore based on our interest. One of the bits of history that we enjoyed was the cathedral in Linz. Because Mass was in progress, we only had a few minutes to see inside this beautiful church. After Mass was finished, anyone who wanted to spend more time here was able to return for a closer look. This beautiful old cathedral has amazing stained glass windows. The stained glass tells different stories from the Bible. While we use Linz as our example in this video, we believe that when you go to a new destination, taking that walking tour really lays a foundation. It gives you a sense of what that destination has to offer and shows you, if you spend just a little time getting an overview of the destination, then you get to go and focus on what matters to you most in your free time. You can tour with confidence and explore all the elements that really speak and help you create your travel story. So those are the 3 reasons that we recommend taking a walking tour, at least to start in a new destination. It will build that confidence that you need to learn new things, explore the past, and look to the future. And at Storyline Travel, we believe every adventure is a story waiting to be told.